Hi, and welcome back, guys. I'm back. It's been quite some time since I uploaded a video. I've been extremely busy at work. Sobrang busy, ang daming ginagawa. I really tried focusing more on my students, so I wasn't able to make new videos. But on the side, I did film some stuff which I'm going to show you guys now, and today we are going to be talking about keyboards. Yes, keyboards. Mechanical keyboards, to be more specific. It's now becoming a fast trending hobby. It's just taking over the scene so fast. And I've been using mechanical keyboards way back, and I've never really fully customized any of my mechanical keyboards. You know, I would just buy a pre-built one and I would use it. I really liked it. It had that clacky or very loud noise to it that really gets you into the situation where you're typing something or you're playing video games. But I never realized that there was a community, or there's a hobby where they actually modify their mechanical keyboards to make it sound and feel so much better, you know. And if you watch one of my previous videos where I was modding my Pro 2, I mentioned that I fell into the rabbit hole, and this is what I'm going to be talking about. Why people call this hobby falling into the rabbit hole, or in the Philippines they call it lason, you know, poison. It's poison because it really just sucks you in. You know, the things that you can do to a keyboard is amazing. Some of you guys are probably thinking like, really, it's just a keyboard. Let me tell you, there are so many things that you need to consider when building a really nice keyboard. The learning curve was a little bit high. It did take me a lot of time to understand all the jargon that people use, and you know, compatibilities and whatnot, but this video is in no way teaching you about all those stuff. It's just to show you guys the experience that I had modding my Pro 2, customizing it to my heart's desire. And yeah, let me show you guys the finished product. This is now my Pro 2. It does not look anything close to the stock Pro 2. I have changed the keycaps, the switches, you know, I changed the case to something that's aluminum, and I even modded it so that I can replace my switches. I hot swap modded it, as they say. So if I want to change the feel and the sound of my keyboard, I can simply just buy switches and it gives me a different experience. So yeah, it's just so different, and I'm so glad that I was able to get into this kind of hobby, because I love working with my hands, and it's just so fun learning about new things. How, you know, how do I configure to do this? What do I need to do that? So, you know, so there's so many variables that you need to consider. And the good thing about this hobby is everything's subjective. There's no one definitive thing so that people will say, oh yeah, that's the perfect mod, or you know, that's the best thing. There's no best thing. It's all subjective. The feel, the sound, everything. So, you know, for me, the satisfaction that I get is the typing experience. I don't get fatigue in my hands when I type. In my line of work, I do a lot of typing. I literally type thousands of words each day, and carpal tunnel has been a very big issue for me, and by customizing this keyboard that I have here, it has actually really helped me a lot. I now enjoy typing, and the sound especially the sound that I get is just so satisfying. I'm actually excited to type now. Okay, you know, it's just so marbly. Oh, the sound that you get, you know, when you're typing is just so, you know, people have so many different words to describe certain sounds. Like it's clacky, it's you know, it's clicky, it's talky, you know, it's marbly, buttery smooth, you know. It's just so satisfying, and I think that is one of the major things that people in this hobby are aiming for, is that perfect, really nice sound that and the overall experience for the typing, the feel. I think that's second. What people are really after is that satisfying sound that you get when you're typing. So unfortunately, I don't have the complete video of me customizing my An Pro 2. I do have some videos that I'm going to show you guys, and I'll be walking you through what I'm actually doing. And after that, I'll show you guys some, I don't know, you can call it like ASMR, probably like me typing on this one, so you can get a feel of how different the sound is. And it's actually increased my my typing speed and accuracy a little bit. Okay, I'm not a fast typer. I average around 80 words per minute, but it did help me. And it's just an amazing hobby, and I'm so glad I was able, you know, to discover this hobby. And I'd like to thank the community. You know, there's such a small but really supportive community in customized mechanical keyboards. And yeah, I'll show you guys my new setup for my desk as well, the stuff that I changed to, you know, to match this particular keyboard. So yeah, so enough of my babble, and let's get right into it. So like I said, I don't have footage of me desoldering the PCB, so this is the after, and I've already taken out the old switches, and I'm now preparing my PCB so that I can solder in some hot swappable sockets. These are Milmax 7305s. So now I'm using one of the old switches, my Gator and Browns, to use as a guide to solder in the Milmax 7305s. They're pretty hard to put in, as you guys can see. They're really small, really tiny, but with some patience you'll be able to get them in. So I'm positioning the switch with the Milmax onto the board where I want it to solder. One thing that I've learned while soldering is take your time. Don't be too excited. Take your time, make it nice and neat, and everything should be fine. Just, you know, relax and take it easy. Now that the Milmax is secured to the board, you can take off the guide switch. Your board is now hot swappable. Now all you need to do is to do it 60 more times. What I'm doing next is I'm attaching band-aids. People call it the band-aid mod. These are for your keyboard stabilizers, so it avoids wiggle from the stabilizers itself, and you just need to do it on all the points where the stabilizer touches the plate of the keyboard. Once you have all the tapes in the correct places, you just need to snap in your stabilizers and you're good to go. No more wobble, no more wiggle. I don't have footage of me lubing the stabilizers and balancing it, but there are a lot of tutorials on the YouTubes for you to learn how to do that yourself. Switches are really easy to open. You just press down on them using the switch opener and you just need to pry it open and they'll come disassembled. You take apart the stem, the top housing, the spring, and the lower housing. Now you just have to do this for all your switches. Next up, we want to apply a thin coating of lubrication to our springs, and I'm using Krytox 105, and this is what they call the bag technique. You just put all your springs into a Ziploc bag, apply a couple of drops of Krytox 105, and you just shake it all around. Once you feel that your springs are well coated with oil, you just need to put it down on a paper towel and you can gently and easily spread them apart. It's really easy. Next is applying lubricant to the stem. Remember, you just need a thin layer. You just need to lube where there's going to be friction with the stem and the lower housing and the top housing. You don't really need to apply lube everywhere. It's really subjective. I like to just lube the outside. Sometimes I do lube the inside as well, like the pole on the inside. Next up is applying a thin layer of lubricant to the sides of the bottom housing and just around the housing bottom. Once you've lubed all the bottom housing, just put in your springs. Next, apply lubing to your upper housing. Once you're done lubing all the parts, you just need to assemble it and you're good to go. You just need to put all your switches back onto your keyboard, install your keycaps, and enjoy.